Well met, my name is Gabriel and I like to enjoy things, and today we are enjoying Duskmourn, Duskmourn, House of Horrors. I just got back from my pre-release at my local game store and I had the best time. Cracking packs, making friends, pulling bombs, building and sleeving and talking about everything new Magic. I had a great time. If you've never been to a pre-release, I highly recommend that you go. If you don't have friends to play Magic with, then that is the place to make friends because everybody there is interested in Magic and it is an amazing time and it's an amazing community. It's called Magic the Gathering because we love to gather. I played 6 games total. I won 4 games and I lost 2 games. Winning those 4 games got me 4 booster packs. So today we are going to open up these 4 packs. We're going to check out my pre-release kit after that, and then we're going to check out the deck that I built that won me those 4 games. And we will wrap up talking a bit off the cuff about the set, and we'll talk about just the vibes in general at the pre-release. And without saying anything else, let's get into Duskmourn, House of Horrors. All right, and jumping straight into these 4 packs and just checking out the art here. I actually pulled this lady, I don't remember her name, but in my pack. All right, let's go ahead and rip them open. Oh no, I forgot how to open packs. There we go. These are really fun. These counters right here. They have the little doors for the rooms mechanic. All right, Friendly Teddy in a foil. Lakeside Shack. Peer Past the Veil. Oh, in a rare, wait a second. My pack is in reverse order. Every one of my packs from the pre-release were all commons up top, with this being the card in the back. That's wild. All right. So the land, and every booster has a land. Sometimes it's a basic, sometimes it's a non-basic. And then this is our foil slot, the Friendly Teddy. And the rare Peer Past the Veil. Discard your hand, then draw X cards, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. 2 rares in this pack. Dissection Tools. Nice. And then our uncommons, Infernal Phantom, Midnight Mayhem, a signpost for Boros, red-white, and Miasma Demon. Nice. Then we have some commons. I actually really like the art on this one here. The Erratic Apparition. I saw this one in foil and it just looks beautiful. Ragged Playmate. Saw some of those in the pre-release. Next. Got an art series. Our foil is an uncommon this time. Pyroclasm. Another non-basic for Boros. I like these. They come into play tapped unless the player has 13 or less life. Not so good in the early game, but it was quite functional for the pre-release. Winter Misanthropic Guide. Black, red, and a green, and 1 Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards and a Delirium. What is our Delirium benefit here? Each opponent's max hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those cards. Nice. Violent Urge. Shrewd Storyteller. Exercise. Exorcise, not exercise. And the commons. Creeping Peeper. Erratic Apparition again, Flesh Burrower, Cracked Skull, Acrobatic Cheerleader, Piranha Fly, Bedhead Beastie, Emerge from the Cocoon. This guy was great in my deck, and I will show you. I only had one of them, I believe, but he came in handy. Actually won me a game. Next, another art series card. What do we have here? Oh, and it's a signature art series. Very nice. And a common in our foil slot this time. And just a basic mountain. Oh! Fear of Missing Out in the Retro TV Frame Showcase. It is an enchantment nightmare. 2/3. When FOMO enters, discard a card, then draw a card. And it has a delirium. When Fear of Missing Out attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Man, what a rare. I actually did pull one of these reds. I did not get the showcase in my pre-release, but I did not end up going with red. I ended up going with a Orzhov black-white deck. All right, House Cartographer, Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, and oh my God, I love to see it, Shroud Stomper. This card, you guys, this card won this card won me 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, oh, those nails are not good. This card won me 4 of my 6 games, and it's just an uncommon. It is a 5/5 with Death Touch. Whenever Shroud Stomper enters or attacks, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, and draw a card. So that is an enter trigger, and it is a trigger every turn that you attack with him, and he's a 5/5 Death Touch. You're going to be attacking with him. It is an uncommon, and the reason it is an uncommon is because of that high cost of 3, 2 white, 2 black. That is hard to pull off, but I was playing a reanimator deck, so the whole point is chuck it in your graveyard, reanimate it with that card we just saw, or another like it. Oh, beautiful card. Beautiful, beautiful. And another uncommon here, Cursed Windbreaker. Loving the theming of the set. And then on to the commons. Enter the Enigma, Bashful Beastie. I keep wanting to say Bestie, Bear Trap. Our first room, Glassworks and Shattered Yard. I actually wish I had pulled one of these. I might have splashed red for it just for this room right here. But when you unlock this side, it deals 4 damage to target creature an opponent controls. And then at the beginning of your end step, the room deals 1 damage to each opponent. Just great damage for a pretty good rate on the mana. Seized from Slumber, Grab the Prize, Shepherding Spirits. I had 2 of these in my deck. And our last pack. Let's go. Let's get a good pull. We can't even open it. We can't get any pulls if we can't open it. There we go. There we go. Another art card. Quite a few art cards. Not a signature this series this time, but a nice card. And in our foil slot, we have just a common, Fear of Immobility. Oh, this is my first full art foil land, and that is just an amazing island. Look at that. Wow. Love it. And our rare, the Jolly Balloon Man, Boros, and 1. Haste and tap 1, or I'm sorry, pay 1 and tap him to create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other colors and types. And it has flying and haste. Sack it at the beginning of your next step and activate that only as a sorcery. There are some crazy combos that can be had with this. I believe TCC, Tolarian Community College, the professor built a commander deck based off of that. It's a build your own precon. I have not watched the video yet. I almost said Atlantis. Altenac, the thrice called Duskmourn, House of Horror. Norrin, Swift Survivalist. Brood Spinner. This is one of the signpost uncommons in black and green. I kind of wish I had pulled one of these, but regardless, this is a really cool card. He's got Surveil too. The Surveil mechanic came in clutch in my black-white deck. Valgavoth's Faithful. Had a couple of those, nothing came of them. Anthropede. Spectral Snatcher. Another Room, Underwater Tunnel, Slimy Aquarium, Horrid Vigor, Vicious Clown, Boiler Bilge's Ripper. I've heard that before. Fear of Immobility, I cannot say it, bless it. And let's move on to the pre-release pack. So if you've ever done a pre-release before, they give you a box. It'll be all closed up like this. You'll rip it down the side. It'll say some cool stuff on the side. Here's where it said it. Welcome to your new forever home. And of course, there's all these punch tokens. I really like these 2 tokens. I didn't punch them out. I probably should have. Doing it now. But for your rooms, because you have a locked side and an unlocked side. So it's nice to slap that down so you can keep track. Some really cool art. I'm pretty sure this is Valgavoth. Some like a chandelier, and look at the back of this. There's like some rooms in there, maybe like a boiler room. It looks like. Anyway, just really sick art on that. And then inside there will be a pre-release kit, a box with a nice little latch. I got the green die. I wish I had got the yellow, but I still really liked it. It's a spin down die for your lice. For your life. Here are the cards I pulled. Oh my gosh. Let's just pull it. Here are the cards I got that are not a part of my deck, and then we can quickly go through the deck. I'm just gonna go through and pull out the rares that I didn't use. Got some okay pulls, but not anything wonderful. Another room. And you'll see I have commons and everything mixed in. I really was in a hurry to build my deck at the last second. A couple tokens. Oh no! Don't steal my code. Don't steal my code. Another one of these cool little token packs. Look at that art card right here. Isn't that sick? I'm not a big horror fan myself, but that is a really cool art card. Here's another one. Some uncommon artifacts. Man, I'm making a mess here. Another signpost uncommon here in black and red and a 1. Another black and a red. I almost went red-black or red-green, but I decided to stick with black-white, and I'm so glad I did. This was my promo card. Every pack comes with a promo card. I got Waltz of Rage. Some people got way better promo cards. That's just the way it is. Here's my regular non-TV showcase Fear of Missing Out. Another Ragged Playmate, Piggy Bank, Rampaging, Riptide, Beastie, Beatdown, Signpost Uncommon in red-green, Gruul. Check it out. I got a full art Blaze Meyer Verge. And that is a rare. It's add a black and add a red. Activate only if you control a swamp or a mountain. It is practically a dual land. You cannot get much better value than this out of a dual land. Love it. Love that I got it in the borderless. I'm just going to show it again. Amazing. Amazing. Boop-doo. Oh, see, I keep revealing that card in the back. It just wants to get out here. Seen it peeking out a lot of times. All right, we're here. I took one look at this card and I said, absolutely not. I'm not playing Simic. I'm not doing math right now, but I will be getting into this card later because it is just so awesome. And yes, it is Simone, and she is on the cover of the Play Booster here. I got her in my foil slot. I could not believe it. But one and a Simic. She's a human wizard. At the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create Primo, the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0, green and blue, fractal creature token. Then put that many +1/+1 encounters on it. And then it shows some examples of prime numbers. Gosh, if you have more than 31 lands, you got other problems. Next up in the rares, the Mind Skinner, and it is blue, blue, blue. It cannot be blocked. It is a 10/1, and if a source you control, which would be this card or any other, would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and then each opponent mills that many card. What a crazy card for a mill strategy. I mean, you could deck somebody in limited in just 4 turns with this. Nuts. Flood Pit's Downer, so we're on to some uncommons here. I did not do blue, so that's why blue is bunched up down here at the bottom. I just didn't think I had the cards to pull off anything with blue in it. Although that rare, I did not look at it at the time, but it is crazy. I might have taken a second look. Glimmer Burst, I think we're at the end here. Another room, and Vanish from Sight from the foil slot. Scrabbling Skull Crab. I think it was Nizahon that said this is the trap to avoid. I'm not sure if it was Nizahon, one of the many videos I watched before going into the pre-release. And that is it. And then lastly, I just want to show the deck that I made. This is the little separator card that comes in the pre-release kit. Great for just separating out your cards. All right, I chose an Orzhov deck, which of course is white-black. Orzhov. Let me get some of those out of the way. And I'll just show some of the cards that were in here. Patched Plaything. It has Double Strike. I only got him out once or twice. I would have much preferred to get him out from my graveyard, but I ended up casting him from my hand every time with those -1/-1 counters. More lands. Appendage Amalgam. Played this a good bit of times. You can flash it in as a combat trick. And it'll let you surveil when you attack. And gosh, I love the surveil mechanic, especially in a deck like this. Murder, I mean, what can I say? You can't beat it. It's removal, and some of the best removal. Commune with Evil. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put them into your hand, or I'm sorry, put one of them into your hand, and the rest in your graveyard, gaining 3 life. That gain 3 life came in clutch for me more than once on a couple of cards. Fear of the Dark. This card is actually great. It's a 5/5. And if they do not control any Glimmer creatures, it gains Menace and Death Touch until end of turn. It only helps me one time. They almost always had a Glimmer token or a Glimmer creature of some kind. This was one of the cards I built the deck around. It is 1 and an Orzhov for a 3/3 with Eerie. And it actually has 3 different Eerie triggers here. So whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, surveil 2. If that's the first time, the ability is resolved this turn. If it's the second time, each opponent discards a card. And if it's the third time, put a creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I was never able to pull off the 3rd tier. I was 1 mana away from being able to trigger all 3 in a turn. However, the first, just the Surveil 2 trigger on its own is incredible. And the second, if you can manage to activate it, love to see them discarding a card. Love it. Terramorphic Expanse, great for mana fixing in this set. Friendly Ghost, it is a 2/4 and it gives another creature 2/4 until end of turn. It's a flyer. Shepherding Spirits, I just needed some big chunky creatures, so threw them in there. I actually almost always cast them from my hand and never as a reanimation, but that's just the way it goes. I only got one of these. I pulled it off one time and it really secured the game for me. Just getting a +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and first strike for 1 mana. I mean, that's not bad. It is not bad at all. You can see why it's an uncommon. Live or Die, choose one. I think every time chose to put a creature from my graveyard onto the battlefield. This is a reanimator deck after all. Veteran Survival, it has the survival mechanic. Veteran Survivor. Valgavoth's Faithful. Jump Scare, great combat trick. Used it every game. Fanatic of the Harrowing. Each player discards a card. I had a funny play with this. I played it on my turn. My opponent discarded, I drew a card. And then on his turn, he played the same card at the same, like in the same turn order. And then I discarded a card, he discarded a card, he drew a card. And then I attacked with mine on the next turn. And then he blocked and we traded. So it was almost a net nothing done on that. Spectral Snatcher. It's got ward, discard a card. I mean, that's one of the best ward effects. And somebody was actually able to shut off my ward effects with a card. There's an enchantment that lets you shut off ward effects in this set. Here's a Room. I used it in a lot of games. When you unlock it, you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Great utility. And then the other side, when a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+0 and Death Touch until end of turn. Unidentified Hovership. I almost said Mothership. Great removal spell. I used it a lot for removal. I held it in my hand a lot of times waiting for them to drop their big creature, and then I scooped it up. And of course I already gushed about this card earlier, but it did win all 4 of my games for me. It is just an amazing card. Only one of those times, no, 2 times I was able to play it from my graveyard. I played it, I was actually able to discard it from my hand using Fanatic of the Harrowing. So I played this, didn't have enough mana to play this guy, so I played this, discarded this, and then on my next turn I used a reanimation card to bring him onto the battlefield. Great play. Everybody seemed to be using this card. Like, I mean, 3 or 4 of the games I played, I saw this card, and of course I played it myself every time. Just Vigilance and Surveil, but it's great. Surveil is great. Emerge from the Cocoon, I use this to reanimate more often than anything else, but I used the black card as well a few times. Both of the common reanimation spells are 5 mana. Another non-basic, another Jump Scare. I only got this guy out 1 time. It's my only Manifest Dread card, and I did finally manifest some Dread, got my 2/2 out. And I think that is the end. Another Shepherding Spirits, and a Given the Violence, just a little combat trick, and a Swamp. Overall, I just to talk about the deck a little bit, I was under the gun with that 1 hour. I had an almost equal distribution of every color in my sealed pool, and I did not know what to do, so I was just sorting and looking and sorting and looking, and in the end, I just threw in literally every white and black card I had, and threw in the lands at the last second, sleeved it up like right as the timer was going off, shuffled, and started playing, and it worked out wonderfully. Like, I was worried that it was not going to synergize well, and then I played my first game and it went so badly, and then I played my second game and it went so badly again, and it was to the point where I was like, man, I really need to substitute out almost everything in this deck. But then games 3, 4, 5, and 6, I just won. So I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned there, but had I taken a little more time to shuffle maybe, or if my mana curve was just slightly better. I had 42 cards total with, I think, 18 lands. So it was 8 white and 8 black lands, and then 2 non-basics, the Terramorphic Expanse and the other one. I actually never pulled my Terramorphic Expanse the entire time. I took, I think, 6 mulligans total over the night. First game I took 1 mulligan. Second game I took 2 mulligans and went down to 5 cards. It was brutal. Third game I took a mulligan. Fourth game I took a mulligan. And I think the 6th game I took a mulligan. There was only 1 game where I got a great hand. So just final impressions. Love the set. Not a huge fan of the horror genre in general. But I really like the theming and the mechanics, and coming off the backs of Bloomburrow, which Bloomburrow was a huge hit. This also a huge hit. So I was really happy with the cards and with the whole experience. And I know I already said it earlier, but I would really love to encourage you guys to do a sealed event at your local game store next release. So with that, we'll get out of here, and y'all have an amazing time gathering and playing some Magic.